Hello, hello. Day 4 of our reboot. Okay, so I am going to start by using one of the sprays, and anybody that's been in my healing room knows I have a gazillion oils and sprays. This one is Sacred Kingdom Essence, called All Is Well Remedy by Claire Luft. And I am going to start by spraying that around me. Ooh, this smells nice. And I love using the oils and the sprays because it's kind of like setting a whole new energy around us so we can have this extra protection, this layer. The oils that are used, the herbs that are used in different ones are really there to help us to come from a place of feeling coated, protected, and loved. So with this, that's the message that wanted to come today, that all is well. Okay, so check in with yourself. I'm going to have you close your eyes down, and I want you to check in with yourself and just notice, where am I right now? And I don't want you to judge anything. I want you to just check in. And if you can start by just kind of scanning your body, closing your eyes, starting with the top of your crown, and just allow yourself to go through from the top of your head and going into all the parts of your brain, scanning, and just as if you're taking inventory and noticing what calls for your attention. And then coming down through your face, scanning down through the whole throat area, going down through the whole chest area. Notice where you have any tightness or any area that's calling out to you. And this could be something physical that's calling out to you, like my chest feels heavy or tight, or it could be something else that's calling out to you, like, oh, maybe this is where I've stored some fear. And then going down through the whole belly area, solar plexus and stomach and belly area. And you might even put your hands on your belly and really just feeling what's going on in there, because there's the part of our mind that tells us whether I'm balanced or whether I'm not. And then certainly there's the body part that says, oh, I don't know, I've got a little tightness in my gut. And then go down your arms. So just allowing yourself to scan your arms, your elbows, your wrists, each of your fingers, going right down to your fingertips. Allergy, don't worry. And then down through the hip area, down through the thighs. And at the same time, seeing the back part of you going down through the back part of your head, back part of your throat, scanning your whole shoulder blades and all the way down your back. And going down your butt. For many of us who sit all day, this isn't good, and we might be holding energy there in the hips or the butt. And then we allow the energy on both sides of our thighs to come down. We're scanning. What does it feel like? Knees, that's an important piece. The knees, I don't know if you know this, have to do with the heart energetically. So we're scanning the knees and then going all the way down our calves. And then with your eyes still closed, go through your ankles, go down through your feet, really just scanning and just each toe. Okay, so since you've done that, I want you to imagine that we're starting over again at the top of the head, and we're bringing in whatever color brings you peace. Whether it's pink or purple or violet or whatever it is, bring in that color and do it one more time. And this time, if there's any areas that you feel are tight, take your time there and allow the energy to just swirl around with the color. And now your intention is to release and let go. So as you're doing this, I'm doing this as well. Letting the energy come down. Any places that are tight, working it out with the color. Because we all know that color and sound both have vibrations. So the color you're using has a lot to do with it. I'm using pink at the moment for unconditional love. And I'm noticing that my neck is tight. So I'm letting it swirl around there, wherever those spots are for you. Just allow yourself to have that energy swirling around there so you can release and let go of anything you're holding. And then allowing yourself to come down further in your body. Just letting it swirl, letting it let go, and just allowing yourself to relax as you allow for this. Now we're going to do it one more time, and as we do this, I want you to really imagine that we're going in there and sandblasting this energy out wherever it's stuck. Like I said, if it's stuck somewhere because you're sitting all the time, or if it's your head because you're thinking all the time, really let this energy move through you. So use the color again, and imagine, if you get the image of sandblasting, just allowing it to burst through, wide open, and to just allow yourself to clear any of this negative energy, any of this energy that's feeling stuck. Allowing yourself to just be. No judgment, no extra thoughts, just allowing it to swirl through you. I'm seeing a very deep purple light as I look at the energy of my audience at the moment. I'm seeing a dark purple. And now it's changing to violet. Interesting, because many of you are familiar with this, but other people may not be. One of the ascended masters, as we call them, is Saint Germain. And Saint Germain has had many, many lifetimes. He was Merlin in one lifetime. And, you know, he was Shakespeare in another lifetime. And he's had many, many lifetimes. But one of the things that he's done for us as a human race is brought forward something called the violet consuming flame. And when the karmic board didn't think we could make the shift as a collective, Saint Germain came forward and said that I believe in them. They can make the shift. I will give them a tool they can use. And the tool is called the violet consuming flame. Now, violet is the highest color, and anything that is not of the highest order cannot survive in violet. That's why when we look at the chakra colors, violet, nothing, it's the highest color. So when you're feeling something isn't right in your life, you can call in the violet consuming flame. So say you're worried about your job, you can call in the violet consuming flame into that particular situation or problem, anything you're having. If you're worried about a physical something, you can call in the violet consuming flame. And how we do that is just like I said, we're calling in the violet flame. And so here's another piece. You remember yesterday when I told you to cut out a picture of the world that you download? We can have that on our altar, and we can call in and invoke. I invoke the violet consuming flame into this virus and into this world now. So we're making an invocation that we have the divine right to call for this. And so I would add that to your sitting and sending love to the world and all its peoples and occupants and animals and trees and nature. Call in the violet consuming flame and ask that it be transmuted now. So what it does is, imagine if we had a bowl here with a violet colored flame. It's going to burn away everything that's not of the highest light. And that's what we're trying to do, or that's what Spirit's trying to do right now with this plane. It's like, let's burn through this virus and create an earth where people realize we're all one, and what happens to one happens to all at some level. So I welcome you to use the violet consuming flame. You can even go through your whole house or apartment. And what I do is I see my hand as if the flame's coming out of it. And I will go through each room and I invoke the violet consuming flame. And I will just the walls of each room, the windows, the floors. And I see the whole room as if it's on fire in the color violet. So it's burning away any emotional stuff, any fear, anything that's stuck there that needs to clean out. You can also say, I invoke Saint Germain and the violet consuming flame, and I invoke it now. When we demand or command something, even though we haven't been taught that, people get confused when you're calling in the masters and asking for, right now, this is what I'm asking for. When you demand and command, it is so. It has to happen. So just some more tips and clues for you. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the masters, and then we're going to go into a meditation. So I have been working with ascended masters and guides for a very long time, too long to remember. And here's the thing. The masters are master teachers that have walked just like we have on this plane, that have taken different roles just as we have. The difference is they have ascended, which means they got to an ascended state where they learned everything they could learn from this plane, and they handled it perfectly, and they were able to rise, body and all, into another form, into another dimension. I've said this before, that the masters, there are male and female masters, gods and goddesses, and the interesting thing about them is that they come in all different shapes and forms, and they all can do everything, but they have their own specialties that we know them for. Some of them come through as real taskmasters, like, I'm going to push you to get through this. Others are warm and gentle. And it's interesting because I have Mother Mary. I love this. Mother Mary, who wanted to be part of this today. And she is actually an ascended master. And so the thing we have to remember is that when they were here, they all took certain roles, just like we're playing roles now. And in that, you know, it is interesting because they took a role to shine their light and to get through it. We also have Archangel Michael, who is one of the master teachers as well. And one of the things I love about Michael is that a long time ago I was doing some clearing work of somebody that had picked up a lot of negative entities and spirits. And what I asked Michael is, I said, you come in and you fight the darkness. And he said, that is not what I do. He said, what I do is I stand against the darkness. There's a difference. His sword is the sword of truth, the blue flame, the throat, speaking the truth, being the truth. And so when he holds this sword up, it's almost like, remember who you are. You once came from one energy, truth. So with that, what's very interesting to me is that what he said is he just stands against the darkness. So if I'm doing some clearing work and somebody has entities and I call him in, he's between me and them. His chest is right up against who they are in spirit. And he's like, look, his light is so bright. He's saying, remember who you are. This is just a role you're playing. This isn't who you are. And in that moment, usually 9 out of 10 times, that energy will just shift. And I said, well, you know, Michael, everybody's been taught you're like this kick-ass angel that comes around and, you know, slays the darkness. He said, not true. I lift my sword of truth and I remind people of who they once were. And in that moment, they remember and they drop the facade of the role they've been playing. So that I never forgot. That was very interesting to me. So just a little bit about masters. They will work with any one of us. You can look it up online, Ascended Masters. It's kind of funny because some of the pictures that they have on there go back to a society, or rather an organization from back in the 20s and 30s. So the pictures make them look a little bit scary, but that's, you know, it doesn't matter how they look. It's just a picture to give you a connection. But I know that when I work with these ascended masters, and they'll work with any of us as long as we're working in the light, they come in to help us. And what they say is, you are our hands and feet. We are in spirit world, so there's only so much we can do. And if we ask you to do something, you're in the physical world, you can do it. And we work in partnership. And because of that, I'm going to help you to stay clear, to stay balanced, whatever it is, depending on who you're working with and their specialty. Okay? So we're going to go into a little meditation first, and then I have some cards I'm going to leave us with. We're just going to do a short meditation. So I'm going to have you close your eyes down, and I want you to imagine that as you start to breathe, you're breathing light into your body. So as you take an inhale, every cell in your body is filling with light. You're in this magnified state of presence and light. And as you do this, and you exhale, you're exhaling anything that you've been holding that is not of the frequency of the highest light. So if it's fear, if it's confusion, whatever it is, what you're doing is you're letting it go, breathing in, and exhaling anything that no longer serves you. And one more time. And as you exhale, exhaling everybody else's fear or whatever it is that you've taken on empathically for anyone else. And I would suggest that you do this part of this exercise once a day so you can be in a place of being clear and moving forward. Okay? So I want you to imagine as you breathe that in front of you stands Archangel Michael. Michael stands there at your service with his blue flame sword. And I want you to imagine that you call in Mother Mary. And Mother Mary works with compassion and unconditional love and peace. So we let her come in and surround us as these qualities from each of these beings we're able to really take into ourselves. Michael, protection and truth and honor. Mother Mary, the love. All of that. We're taking it in for ourselves. We're allowing ourselves to be more peaceful. And then bringing in Saint Germain and the violet consuming flame. And as we see this flame, imagine it burning bright in front of us in a bowl of light. And this flame spreads through our whole body to consume any fear, anything that we're holding on to that no longer serves us. We allow this flame to move through our environment, through our families, through our pets. And just allowing ourselves to take a deep breath and exhale the flame. Good. The last one that I want to bring in is Archangel Metatron. Metatron is power and is powerful. So we have Michael, we have Mother Mary, we have Saint Germain, and now we have Metatron. Because we don't know where any of this is going just yet, imagine that you're placing the 4 of them around your house, in the front, outside your house, in the back, to the right, and to the left of your house. Setting protection, setting love, strength and courage, and truth. So allow yourself to breathe in these beautiful energies of these amazing teachers and guides. And as you move forward in the days ahead, you might want to get out a journal and talk to one of them, simply by asking, what is the message you have for me today? And going from there. Okay, and on the next inhale, you may open your eyes. And we want to make sure you're grounded with roots through your feet to the center of the earth, your back, you're grounded. And I hope you liked your little introduction to all of them. Okay, our cards for today. First one is from the Metatron, from Amanda Ellis. And this is a beautiful card. And this says, transformation, light and dark. And so I'm going to read from this. It says, this is a challenging question, since in truth both are aspects of yourself. Now, the only question I asked was about where we're at right now. Within you are both light and shade, illumination and shadow, love and hate, peace and anxiety. Living in a dualistic world, you have a dualistic nature, and it serves you well to try to integrate and understand all parts of yourself. Pushing away a shadow doesn't work, whether it appears as jealousy, rage, greed, or spite. Instead, you are asked to understand and work through why such feelings arise and where they come from, and realize it is usually because of an absence of love. Our shadow often wants to keep us small, to keep us doing what we know rather than trying something new. It feeds off old patterns that haven't been worked through, from panic and low self-esteem to something greater still. If you have done the shadow work, the card asks you to question which figure you give the most attention to. Transformation happens when we choose light over the shadow self and turn like a flower to the sun, the greatest energy source of our planet and life force. The image is a reminder to choose the light every day. Maybe that's an affirmation you say. I choose the light today. To move forward and reach for sunlight rather than to hide ourselves in darkness. Darkness and shadow can play into ego's hands, playing small, judgment, blame, drama, victim mentality. It takes many forms. However, we are here to shine brightly. We cannot do so from a place of total darkness. The sunlight in the picture brings not just illumination to the one who is free, but illuminates and brings warmth to the heavier side of ourselves that we carry. The stronger and more powerful energy is the light. It can and will escape the clutches of anything that tries to contain it. What is left behind is but an empty shell, and we learn to look back with compassion at what blocked our way and the lessons we've learned from the struggle. By doing this, we transform not just ourselves, but the darkness too. We learn to live with it, but not allow it to control us, to love all parts of the self, and to walk the highest path we can, moment to moment, day by day. By doing so, we conquer the battle within and allow the light to win. Well, isn't that magnificent? The next card was from Cryon. Manifest my co-creations. Right now, I have an entire entourage working behind the scenes to manifest my co-creations. I move forward with grace and ease. What did we talk about? Co-creations, being that they have to work with us and through us. This is all answering exactly. This is from Keepers of the Light by Lily Moses is the artist, and Kyle Gray. El Moria, Awakening Presence, one of the masters. It says, the universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. El Moria is a spiritual name that was given to protect the identity of a spiritually aware man born into a powerful family that ruled Kashmir, an India's subcontinent. Let's get to the message. Spiritual protection is important at this time. Ensure that you are cleansing your energy before putting on protection. El Moria is here with a legion of angels to help you understand where you are at now. Fire up your divine connection and detach from drama, people, places, and emotions that no longer serve you. Remember that within you there's a mighty soul light. Allow the light to shine through your entire being. Then call on El Moria and his angels to surround you in a light that will keep you safe on all levels. Also know that facing fears and seeing the truth will strengthen your connection to the universal life force. And it's spelled E-L, capital M-O-R-Y-A. And the last card is from Alana Fairchild's Lightworker Oracle. It's the 6th ray of devotion. And I'm going to read the short version on this. It says, the 6th ray of devotion bestows the qualities of persistence, unwavering focus, and intensity of feeling. It is a gift of the strength. It is a gift of the strength to move mountains with your will for what you love. When the 6th ray of devotion appears, you are being given guidance that even if you do not seem to have much worldly power right now, the power of your beliefs can conquer obstacles. The Archangel Uriel helps you receive the blessing of the 6th ray now. All saying one continuous message of own who we are, our strength, and move through it. I leave you for today with these words. I am recommitting to the light, and I strengthen my light every day. Thank you.